The truth of the matter is this.
Welcome.
I don't think a lot of the consuming public knows that, but that is the case.
goatforreal216.
It's just math. Just math.
The podcast.
He's a little bit savage.
Here we are again.
Again.
I don't want to be here tonight.
You don't want to be here tonight?
Totally want to be here tonight.
I was about to say, what are we doing?
I totally want to be here tonight. Eva, I want to be wherever you're at.
Okay, I want to be where you are too. I can't
That's
lie.
from a song. There's a good song that says something like, wherever you are, I want to be, or something like that. There's probably 9,000 songs.
Yeah, it's going to bother me all night now, so thank you for that.
Yeah, no, I want to be here because I want to talk about the car business.
100%.
I am super stoked about some of the content that we got off our Instagram Live here tonight. And again, we talk about these different platforms, man. We'll get into all that. But welcome to episode 5, Goat for Real 216 podcast.
Ooh, 5
gang.
already. And while we're at it, we also want to thank our first ever sponsor, Sky Blue Credit Repair. They're sponsoring this episode again. So thank you very much. More info on them later.
Thanks, Ben. Okay, so I would point out, we're aware we've been having some audio issues. Listen, we're learning as we go. Just like you're learning about the car business, we're learning about the podcast business. So Eva has heavy experience with podcast producing. She's helped a lot of different people with it, but we're learning the equipment and everything as we go. So I apologize if you've experienced some of that stuff, but we have it fixed. And thanks to
Rob, the infamous Rob that we always
call
mention.
him Rob, the IT guy.
No, he's Rob. Yes, big shout out to Rob.
Infamous Rob. That's
he came
fine.
over. He fixed the audio issues, so we should be Gucci gang moving forward.
I love it. Rob's the best. Dude, very cool mustache, by the way.
I know, right?
Rob, I'm digging your mustache.
Thank you again so much.
Rob, the IT guy. All right, so so here, cool things are happening. I want to get to some questions. I want to talk about some car content. Again, what we're finding out is you guys really have a thirst for the knowledge that, we're dropping on you, which is super, super cool. Always amazes me still that I just happen to know about some stuff that people like, and that's helping them save money. I mean, I'm getting more and more messages like these people that are like, hey, you saved me $2,000 on my car just by watching your video. I knew that they couldn't put this fee on there and they couldn't put this on there, and it saved me $2,000, which totally warms my heart. But we are live on Apple Podcast and Google Podcast now.
Woo!
So we are. I mean, I think we're in the Podcast Hall of Fame now.
We're started from the bottom. Now we're here.
Yeah,
okay?
drop the mic.
Right.
Drop it. No, we're on Apple. We're on Google. So find us there. When you go there, please don't just go there and listen. Subscribe.
Yes, subscribe. Whatever platform you're listening on, YouTube, any of them, please subscribe.
Even, can I just point out? So again, I'm learning this podcast stuff. I think it's great that one of the words that's used in this industry is sub.
100%. I'm not going to go into any further details. This is
love
a
it.
family-friendly podcast.
I love it.
But I'm a huge fan. So, guys, please just sub the podcast.
I'm so embarrassed.
We love it.
If my kids are watching, they don't know. I'm talking about Jimmy John's, guys. Okay, that's what we're talking about. But I love typing the word sub. I love hitting enter.
Yep.
Because I love subs.
And it is
sub sandwiches.
Yes, they're delicious.
Let's go.
Leaving it at that. Speaking of Apple Podcasts, though, we do want to give a shout out to HTTR210 from Instagram for being our first ever Apple Podcast subscriber.
Awesome.
Boom. Thank you
awesome.
so much.
HTTR210. Dude, that was amazing. Thank you. See, we get stoked about that. I get stoked about that.
And it's just so cool because we were only just live on Apple Podcasts less than 24 hours.
Yeah.
And in Instagram Live, somebody's already telling us they're subbed. That's fantastic.
That's so cool. And honestly, that means you're doing an amazing job.
I can't take all the credit.
I'm just the doofus car guy. With a sick part in the hair.
It's going to happen every time.
Part of the reason that we're getting downloads, honestly. But on another note, you're doing an amazing job.
But yes, on that note, just to reiterate, we're on YouTube, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, SoundCloud, all the biggies. You can find us wherever you are most comfortable. So please just subscribe, like, follow, share, all the
So.
good stuff.
Okay, cool. So future episodes, want to talk about what we have coming on. So we think that we've prepared a good next, 6 weeks for everybody with some amazing car content, with some amazing car people. And what I'd like to do, and I hope this is working out for you guys, is I try to think about different personnel that I can present, right? That we can present to
For
them.
sure.
So we've had the veteran salesperson and Dr. James Vega.
Yep.
We had Michael R. Dorencott,
The Hammer.
the sales manager, and we are the next two people, or the next three people from the car industry is going to be fun for me. So wait, they're all from the car industry. I'm going to just tell you who we have. In-person guest. That happened. My niece, Allie, has been a manager at Chuck E. Cheese, which you well know. So Allie's the shit. Allie.
I mean, you got to have a great personality
the shit.
to manage a Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah, Allie's. I'm snorting. Listen, she is. She managed Chuck E. Cheese for years, did a great job at it. She's such a great little girl. She's so amazing. And she made like one video on TikTok. Boom, 4 million views. Went viral. Cray.
Crazy.
So anyway, so she's coming. My little sister and bestie, Trisha, is going to be coming on soon. Now she is. So back to Allie. It's all about Allie. Back to Allie is she wants to be in the car business, like her mom and like her uncle and like her brother. So we are all in the car business, and she just wants to be in the car business. Yes, the money's a draw, but she likes the idea of helping people because she's an amazing, good-hearted person, and she thinks her avenue to do that is the car business. So she's getting in the car business.
It'll be really cool to talk to somebody extremely fresh in the industry.
She's like scurvous. No, she's like excited. Scared and excited.
I dig it.
I can see it in her little face when she talks to me. She's like, I trust you, Uncle Sean. But at the same time, like I could tell she's a little like, but I used to make X amount of dollars every week and now it's going to be commission. So, but that'll be cool. My sister Trisha in the car business is a manager at a local chain here with over 50 stores nationwide. So a very big group. She's a part of it. And she also has a lot of lending experience. She worked for a large lender in the area, approving deals, turning them down. She was a credit buyer. So
It'll
great
be
angle
cool
there.
for sure to get that angle.
Totally cool. I have my friend Kelly from Canton, who's an independent car dealer, who's going to be on too. So new salesperson in the industry. Veteran salesperson in the industry currently with banking experience, and the independent side, which a lot of people don't know really exists a whole lot.
Yeah, that'll be interesting for me because I don't even know a lot about that. So that'll be a fun conversation, I think.
So the idea is to give you guys, I want everybody to be able to, if you're a consumer, I want you to see all the different sides of the industry. If you're in the business, I want you to be able to relate to somebody on the show at some point. So I'm trying to give you the full spectrum. Then we got influencers. We got Straight Russian coming on soon, 200,000 followers on TikTok, big on Twitch and Discord.
Yeah.
Abe the Goat, my guy. He's, whether he likes it or not, he's my Frankenstein. He just doesn't know it yet. And Life with Key, who has 600,000 followers on TikTok. Young kid down who's just killing it. It just great content. So we have all these people coming.
That'll be really different, unique perspectives from every single one of these people. I think it'll all be really good episodes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I know we kind of touched on it a little bit, but really quick before we go to break, I just want to let everybody know, please, now that we are fully launched on every podcast platform imaginable, subscribe if you're listening. But if you're enjoying the content, and even if you're not, please give us ratings and reviews. Be honest. You know, we are all about honesty and transparency here. If you love it, wouldn't change a thing, 5 stars, great review. If you hate it, please give us 1 star and tell us why. We need to know. It helps us give you better episodes. Additionally, we've talked about it a couple of times now, but the Patreon is fully live, and it gives you exclusive behind the scenes access. So yeah, we give you the behind the scenes of the industry. Now you can have the behind the scenes of how we bring you information. I finally also finished setting up our Discord, which is like even more secret. Because if you're on the Patreon, you get the Discord. And then when you're in the Discord, you get all this different stuff. So it's a lot of cool ways you can directly interact with both of us. I am heavily involved in those two things. So please go do those things.
Yeah, and I just posted, if you're watching, I just posted to Patreon a couple times here right before we started recording. So I posted a couple of videos of Eva and I getting ready to record the podcast. So go on to Patreon, check us out. You'll get some behind the scenes. And
got some cool stuff lined up.
I am stoked about everything we got going on. I'm really stoked about getting back here talking about the car business, answering some questions for some people. So let's do that.
Yeah. We'll see you in a minute.
Okay.
Holla.
So Eva, I wanted to tell you how proud I am of you that you got your credit score up here recently.
Thank you. I did. I got a car, I got a house, and I really couldn't have done any of that had you not suggested Sky Blue.
Yeah, Sky Blue Credit Repair is the most powerful solution to dispute issues on your credit reports and improve your credit scores.
Yeah, and it was really affordable too.
Yeah, it's only $79 a month, and they can help you identify what to dispute. They work fast, helping clean up your credit within 35 days. No upgrades, no hidden fees.
Yeah, it is really great for sure. And if anybody else would like to check them out, you can find them at goatforreal216.info or click the link in the show notes.
Holler.
All right, everybody, welcome back. Thank you again to our sponsor. I'm excited to get into some car stuff.
Yeah, let's do that. Thank you, Sky Blue Credit Repair, once again, being a great sponsor and helping us out. Great people. If you need credit repair, click the link.
For sure.
So this week's episode, we're going down IG Road.
IG.
So we are by nature TikTok addicts
Yeah.
and creators and influencers, right?
Yeah.
Now, but I feel myself, look, TikTok's my heart. I'm never going to cheat on her.
Never.
I might move to Utah so I can have more than one, though.
I mean,
it's okay there.
And IG.
Does that make sense?
IG will go to Utah.
And IG, it's a great platform. It's somewhere in between TikTok and Facebook, in my opinion. And we've had that conversation about the different platforms. Still amazes me. It's awesome. So, but anyways, we did a live on Instagram before we recorded and got some amazing questions. So I want to do that. We're going to rock it.
Yes. And really, really quick, before we get into the questions, I have to give a shout out to Trish Sells Cars. That's Trisha. She'll be a future guest. She's always in the lives. And my grandpa got in the live. So Loman Gary, thank you.
Are you trying to make me cry?
Oh my God. I was so surprised. So shout out to them. But right, let's get into some car questions. So
right, I'm down.
Texas Blue Jay asks, what's the best hybrid vehicle?
So I am by nature a Lexus guy. I was the pre-owned director here at the Lexus store in Cleveland for a couple years, 2 or 3 years. So yeah, it's hard not to get Lexus centric after you've been with them. Toyota. So here's a little story that people don't know. So the first modern hybrid technology was created by Toyota.
Okay.
So this is how amazing Toyota is and their developers. Toyota created their hybrid technology, the modern one, said it wasn't good enough, and sold it to General Motors.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It's not good enough for us, but if you want it, you can have it.
Hey.
So that's real. So I think the Lexus hybrid technology and vehicles are the most fun to drive, luxurious to drive, because a Lexus that's not a hybrid is luxurious. So then you put the hybrid technology in there, and with the quietness and everything and the efficiency that they develop and all that. So Texas Blue Jay, that's a cool question. The best hybrid vehicle, in my opinion, is something of the Lexus brand. I mean, whether it's an ES or an RX, I would say RX. I like the RX a lot, but it's from Lexus. Again, just an opinion, but that's my opinion on that. But good question, and I like that we're starting to get EV and hybrid questions.
Yes.
Because that's going nowhere.
No, it's not. It's here to stay.
Yeah, I read today BMW said by 2030 they will have 50% production will be all EV.
Wow.
That's like in a day. 2030 is in like 7 years. That's like not like the Jetsons.
We're
like
gonna
it's like
snap
soon.
our fingers and it's gonna be here.
Yeah, you know, I mean, it was 2016 like yesterday.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but anyway, so yeah, so it's coming, man. If you're not on the train, you got to get on. But good question, thank you.
I am curious on that Toyota train. Did they move up? Are they doing good EVs now too?
Yeah, dude, Toyota. I mean, they're always ahead of the curve with that. I think Toyota's always ahead of the curve, and their hybrid technology is great, but Toyota's just a great brand. You know what I mean?
My first ever car was a Toyota.
What'd you have?
'01 Toyota Corolla.
Gotcha. I mean, Corolla, dude, Toyota, they've had so many partnerships, like you probably don't remember. So there was a car called, do you remember the Geo brand? That was Toyota.
Okay, I did
Well,
not
it was
know
Toyota
that.
and General Motors or
Okay.
Chevy. Yeah, so Toyota was a part of that. Toyota has their hands on a lot of different things. In my opinion, they are like the OG of manufacturers that everybody else kind of like. It's similar to like me.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm I'm MJ. I mean, I don't. Is this an arrogant moment for me?
No, we've talked about this.
Yeah, no, I'm not MJ. I don't care. I'm MJ. Everybody else is Tracy McGrady.
And then maybe there's a couple LeBrons, but you know.
Yeah, I don't know about it. Whatever. It doesn't matter to me. All I'm saying is Toyota is the leader of the pack. And I think that was a McDonald's slogan. But yeah, Big Mac, leader of the pack. Toyota, in my opinion, best hybrid vehicle, Toyota and Lexus.
Awesome.
Beep,
Okay.
bop, boop.
So next question is from Jundo_McLovin. McLovin. If you have bad credit, will a greater down payment improve your approval chances?
1,000%. So we talk about this a lot here, and I want to make sure that everybody understands this. For you car shoppers, this is a very important part of being knowledgeable when you go into a dealership. And again, that's what the show's about, right? So informing people. So let's say that you have less than perfect credit. You should do everything in your power to try to get your vehicle purchase under a certain loan to value or LTV percentage. Okay. So we've talked about this. You understand that. So it's all judged off JD Power Clean Trade-In. So to give you an example, if a car has a JD Power Clean Trade-In value of $20,000, so if you can get to the point where you're financing $16,000, that's 80% loan to value. Banks love that. So what you want to do, if you have a little bit less than perfect credit, you want to try to do a couple of things to answer the question and to give a little bit of knowledge for the people that are shopping. So you want to try to find a car maybe that the dealer's got it already priced at 100%, which is not. I know the market's up, but they're out there. You have to dig. You have to look, and then try to put enough down payment down to get that clean trade-in value to get under 95%. Loan to value, meaning your amount financed is 95% or 90 or 85% of that clean trade value. If you do that, you will do a couple of things. So with these portals that everybody uses to send to the banks, you could get an auto approval because the banks have these parameters set up that say auto approve anything under 85% loan to value, regardless of credit sometimes, or job history or whatever. So you can possibly get an auto approval doing that, but you definitely give yourself a better chance of getting approval, McLovin. I had to say McLovin. Is that Pineapple Express, right? McLovin?
Isn't
it
it
Pineapple
Superbad?
Express? Super bad. Oh my
Super
God.
bad.
It's awesome. Anyway, so yes, I mean, yes, to answer the question, greater down payment definitely improves your approval chances because it's going to give a better loan to value. It's going to make the bank, you got to give the bank a reason to say yes. That's what I always tell people. Just give them one reason to say yes. If your job history is short and your repayment history is bad, okay, give them a reason to look at it and go, yeah, maybe. And maybe that's loan to value by getting under that, by putting a bigger down payment down. So good question, McLovin. Yes, 100%.
I mean, you said we've talked about this. I'm not shy. When I got my car, my credit was in the low 500s. I had a recent repo, and my job history was short because I hadn't been working very long.
But you had
I had a fully paid off trade worth $10,000.
Boom.
So that, I mean, hello, that takes down what
I got you approved.
financing.
It was like, boom.
Like immediately.
Wasn't even a question.
I was shocked. I think I almost cried.
I know. And by the way, Rob, I already know you're not shy. Rob told me. Next question.
Anyway, next question. Next question is from Nicholas_Gur. Please explain what addendums are and how are they moral?
So addendums are dealer-imposed price markups on vehicles that are in low supply and good demand. So you're not normally going to see an addendum on a, like a Chevy Spark.
Right.
Okay. I mean, maybe, you know what I'm saying? With COVID, maybe there was on Chevy Sparks. But for the most part, it's going to be on vehicles that are in high demand. You know, four-door sedans that people love, SUVs with third rows, specialty cars for sure. That's COVID, pre-COVID, pre-1970s, actually. Specialty vehicles like Corvettes come out during regular times pre-COVID, and still guys would ask, like when the new C7 or C6 came out, guys would ask $10,000 over MSRP. So the addendum is, it's a price markup, a dealer-imposed price markup because they think they can get more for the car than MSRP. And history over the last 2 years has shown they're 100% right.
Because of the demand.
Because of the demand and because dealers are greedy. And that's, listen, it's capitalism. Nobody's in business to make less.
Exactly.
Let's just be honest, okay? I say this all the time. If you don't like it, I don't care. If I'm in a car dealership, my job is to take the money out of your pocket and put it in my pocket.
Yep.
Okay? Now, again, can I do that in a transparent mode and with an honest, ethical approach and earn it? Yes.
100%.
But make no secret, if you and me are sitting across from a table and I'm in a car dealership, my job's to take that money out of your pocket and put it in mine. Now, do I need to be overly aggressive and greedy and mark the car up over MSRP? I don't. We didn't do it. We didn't sell over MSRP because I didn't want to put the customer in that position when they came in to buy their next car. And that's what you're seeing now is all these dealers, business is slow because you can't get anybody else. You can't get the customer out of the car you sold them 2 years ago and you charge them 10 grand too much.
Right.
Duh. Like, you know what I mean? So that's what's happening in the business right now. But that's what addendums are. So let's go to the morality issue. Are they moral? I don't know if they're immoral because at the end of the day, you can propose something immoral to me. I don't have to do it.
It's up to me if I say yes or no.
I mean, okay, are they moral? I mean, it's not immoral. Is it a little greedy? Maybe. Are you surprised?
No.
Are you surprised? I'm asking. Like, people are like, oh my God, I can't believe this is going on. Car dealers are trying to make more money than they should. Are you kidding? All you do is hate on car dealers because we're such jerks for, ripping you off, and now you're surprised.
Right.
Stop it. You're not surprised.
Right.
You're just mad.
Yes.
Because the car you want costs more. Okay? And I get that. Doesn't make it immoral. It doesn't mean you have to agree with it. Here's the best thing about being a consumer, guys. Say no.
Say no.
We're charging $5K over MSRP. No.
No thanks. I'll go somewhere else.
No. Now here's what you have to do. And again, I'm on this one because I get this a lot. But Nicholas, it's a good question, and thank you. In today's market in the car business, man, I think people are mad because they have to work. And again, I'm not anti-consumer on this at all. I'm really neutral on this. I see why dealers would do it, and I see why consumers are pissed. But all it means is you got to work harder.
Yeah, you have to just do a little research or get some assistance before you go in.
Right. So like your local dealer is charging over MSRP. He's got an addendum on there. Okay. Call somebody else.
Right.
Call another dealer. Call another dealer. Call another dealer. Call a dealer out of state and tell them you want the car shipped to you. I think sometimes people are just upset because they have to do a little bit more work to find the deal that they want. But trust me, they're out there because there's a dealer out there who isn't a good seller and his inventory is distressed to him and it's aged and the floor plan company wants him to pay that car off and he doesn't have the capital. His capital's down. And so he'll sell you the car for MSRP, but you have to go find that guy.
Yep.
So the morality issue, is it immoral? I don't think it's immoral. I don't necessarily agree with it. And I'm not surprised that a business is trying to make more money if a supply and demand thing. Listen, I don't know how else to say this, but if we run out of toilet paper and Walmart's the only one that has toilet paper, you think they might mark toilet paper up 25 cents? I mean, they might. People need to wipe You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna
We've
pay you more
literally
for that
seen that
toilet
happen.
paper. Yeah, because I'd rather pay you more than not have it. You know what I mean? So
Exactly.
whatever. I don't know if it's immoral. I don't agree with it. Good question either way.
And honestly, too, as a consumer, once you say no, one of two things can happen. You can say no and start calling other places, and
Right.
eventually you'll find that one, or you'll find out that you found a salesperson who maybe isn't as confident. And the second you say no, they're going to backtrack and make that deal work for you.
It happens all the time.
So just say no and see the many things that can happen for you.
You just sounded so much like Nancy Reagan.
Oh,
Do
man.
you know who that is?
Yes, I know
It just
who
dawned on me
Nancy
you might not know
Reagan
who
is.
Nancy Reagan is.
Yes, I know who that
Just
is.
say no.
Just say no.
Yeah, just say no to addendums. We're going to start a national campaign.
Oh, my gosh.
So I would like the president to contact me, and I want to be in charge of it. The just say no to addendums.
I'm the talent.
And
Mhm.
why do you have to be like? Can I just be with the president? Why do you have to be on
Because
my
I'm
coattails
there
with
for
the president
everything
thing?
else, so I'm definitely
can I
gonna
have
be there
anything
with
to
the president.
myself?
No.
Okay. All right. Let's
Just
go.
say no, Sean. I'm saying
Go
no.
ahead. Next question.
All right, next question is from John M. Tarantino. If I have a 750 credit score, what kind of rates can I expect?
So if you have a 750 credit score, John, I would, first of all, the first thing that you should do before you go car shopping is apply at your local credit union.
Mm-hmm.
They have lower rates. They're not as regulated as the FDIC insured rate banks that are out there that have to be at prime plus whatever, according to whatever the board of directors say they want to make. So credit unions don't have that problem, so they could be lower. So if you have a 750 credit score, it does depend on the year, make, model of the, let's just say year of the car, because a good rule of thumb is the newer the car, the lower the rate, and that's true. If I send a bank a 750 credit score on a 2015 model year car, they're going to give me a rate that's 2 or 3 points higher than if I send that same customer over on a 2021. They're going to give me a 2 to 3, maybe 4% lower rate. So there's some variables here, John, that I don't know. If you have a 750 credit score, let's build a scenario for you. You have a 750 credit score, and you're going to buy a 2020 model year, 3 years old, and you're willing to go regular term, like 60 months, 72 months, and the LTV is going to be in line, meaning you're going to at least cover the taxes and the dealer's not gouging on the price. I think on that car, I could see you getting a rate from a regular lender on a 750, which is going to put you in a tier 1. I think you're going to get a rate in the 5s right now, which I know is tough to stomach because not too long ago it was 2s and 3s, and I get it, but that's why you got to go to the credit union because you can still get lower rates with the credit union. The other flip side, John, and not to take too much on this one, but I want people to know there's manufacturer incentivized rates with all these vehicles out there, and those rates are all lower than if you're going through a bank. I have a very good friend of mine who purchased a vehicle yesterday and got a manufacturer incentivized rate through Hyundai Finance of 5%. So if that same person would have not went through the manufacturer incentivized rate and they went to Capital One, the rate would have been 8-9% based on credit score, in my opinion. So, John, if you got a 750 credit score, you're going to qualify for any incentivized rate that's out there. You could get 2.9 on something for you could get 0. You get 0.9, depending on what you're buying. So, but on average, I would say a new car, 2.9 for 60 months, depending on where you go. And on a used car, I think you're going to be somewhere in the 5s, depending, again, on the model year. So a little bit of variable, but I think I answered that question.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Okay, so kind of along the same vein, Pepper6381 asks, which manufacturers have the best lease deals? Leases.
They all, no, not they all. So usually Toyota and Honda, in my opinion, are going to be where you're going to find the best lease deals because the residual value, which again, the residual value, guys, is the guaranteed lease end value of the vehicle. So a car that holds its value very well, like a Toyota or a Honda, is going to have a higher residual value. The car is going to be worth more in 36 months than, let's say a Dodge, okay, or whatever. So the residual is going to be higher, which means a lower payment. Because on a lease, you are only financing the amount between what you buy it for, and that residual value. So Playhouse 90, $30,000 Toyota, Residual value is 60%, let's say, at 36 months. So that's $18,000. So you're financing the difference between 30,000 and 18, which is 12, divided by 36 months, add a little bit of interest, it's 400. Okay, so something like that. And that's a general scenario. Please don't get in all my DMs. Tell me you messed up about the residual. Yeah, it's an example. But same $30,000 price tag, go to buy a Chrysler, and the residual is 48%. Okay, so 48% now of 30,000 is 14,800. So that's a lot less than 18. So take that 30,000, so, and the 14.8, I think I said it was. So now you're financing 15.4 instead of 12. So 15.4 over 36 months is higher than 12 over 36. Am I?
Yes.
Am I talking?
You're making complete sense.
I had a Mountain Dew. I'm fired up.
Your math skills just astound me. I could never.
The shit just, listen, I wake up like this, Eva.
I could never.
This is how I wake up in the morning. Hold on. First of all, I wake up like, bam, that's there. And then all this brilliant stuff is in it. So it's cool. It's fun to be me sometimes, I'll be honest.
I mean, it's very mesmerizing.
But for real. So your manufacturers, it's always going to be your Japanese makes. They have high residuals. So it's always going to be your Toyotas, your Hondas. Again, talking about regular mainstream vehicles, not Highline, Lexus, and all that stuff. They're just more expensive. So look for a vehicle with a high residual value, high percentage residual value. So, and that's going to get you your best lease deal, depending on, what make and model you're looking at. So,
wow. Well, I'm just still a little flabbergasted by the math. So let's move on to our next question.
Did I explain it good?
Yes, I feel very educated right now.
Sometimes it makes sense to me, and I'm like, I don't know if anybody understood what I just said.
Nope, I feel like I learned something today.
I'm a teacher, Eva.
So speaking of manufacturers, it's.me.aaro3 wants to know, what is a manufacturer buyback?
It's a great question. Manufacturer buyback is a vehicle that a customer bought new that had, I believe that it is still the same statute, 5 issues on the same manufacturer factory covered part within 12 months. So that car can qualify for a buyback. Now that could be a seatbelt, it could be a radio, it could be just about anything. But if you've had a failure 5 times within the initial 12 months of buying the vehicle, that car through most manufacturers is going to qualify to be a manufacturer buyback. That means they'll buy the car back. The manufacturer they're guaranteeing the car, they'll take the car back. Okay. Now, I think that there are manufacturers out there where it's not 5, it might be 4, and it could be within 24 months, but I know that the general rule of thumb is 5 repairs, same part, within the first 12 months, the car qualifies as a buyback. Literally, you call the manufacturer and they're like, okay, we'll come get it. But you got to have documentation.
Right.
I took it to my dealer. They said this. They said it was fixed. It's broke. I took it to my dealer again. They've said it was fixed. It's broke. You blah, 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 5 times, 12 months. So that's what a buyback is. And people are terrified of that word when it's a buyback. It's a buyback. It's not the worst thing in the world like people think. It sounds scary. But a buyback could be, like I said, it could be the visor.
Right.
It could be, you know what I'm saying?
It's literally any part.
Yeah, because here's the flip side of it that a lot of people don't know is a lot of people, like, let's say it's a visor, okay? I mean, for instance, a lot of people get into these cars and they decide that they can't afford it. And God forbid that they can, find a repair that keeps going within, a year 5 times, they'll exercise the buyback because they bought the wrong car or too much. Heck yeah, absolutely they will. 100% they will. So if you see a manufacturer buyback, 70% of them are because it had a failure and the manufacturer bought it back. 30% of them are people that are exercising it because they want out of the car. It's not a real problem. Again, it's a visor.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's not the scariest thing, but look on Carfax. It's always on there. If it's a buyback, it's going to be itemized on Carfax. So make sure you get a Carfax pulled. But if you hear the word buyback, it's not as scary as it sounds.
So then what happens with a buyback for them to be able to resell it?
They take it but a lot of times they'll take it to the auction. And another dealer will buy it because she's like, I don't care. It's fixed. You know what I mean? So now there are banks actually that won't finance it though. which is,
Okay.
believe it or not, there's banks out there, though, it's a buyback. We won't finance it.
Okay.
But dealers at the auction were like, oh, I don't care. Yeah, I mean,
Gotcha.
like, if you know how to explain it to the client, the next guy that's buying it, listen, because it'll say right here, bulletin, blah, 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 on this vehicle, repair. You know what I'm saying? 2 months later, repair. 2 months later, blah, 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 buyback. It'll say right on there, and then it'll give it that brand on Carfax. But you can say, sir, I mean, it was, you know what I mean? It was the rear AC. You know what I mean? That it wasn't the engine or the transmission. So a good salesperson isn't afraid of that, as long as it's really not something scary.
Right, an actual,
or safety.
like, real
yeah,
thing.
safety related.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, and then for our last question of the day, one happy mama asks, can dealerships beat your lender's interests, and would it be a second hard inquiry?
This is one of those things, man. Again, when I get a hold of the president, and
When
he
we
called
get
me,
a hold
he
of the
called
president?
me today, and I just forgot to ask him about this.
I was not conferenced in. I'm very upset.
I know. But this is one of those things that somebody needs to put out there in public so people know. I'm going to guess it was 5 years ago, it could have been 7, that all of the credit bureaus decided that they were going to stop reporting inquiries individually and attach a credit ding to your score to each inquiry. So, and back in the day, you know, it would happen. You know what I'm saying? If I was a dealer and I pulled your credit and I sent it to 5 or 6 different banks, you'd get dinged 5 or 6 different times. Your score could go down 10 points, 20 points, whatever. So the way it is now, guys, is you have a 30-day window. If the bureaus, you know, understand that you're looking for an installment item like a mortgage or a car, if the bureau senses that you're shopping for an installment item, a need, like a want, or not a want, like a car or a house, they will take 30 days of inquiries and judge it as one.
Okay.
So you don't, every time that somebody pulls your credit, it doesn't necessarily ding your score anymore like it used to.
So it's just that initial pull within that 30-day time period.
100%.
Okay.
Yeah. So you don't get dinged every time. And I get, you know, people like to comment on my socials and stuff like that. Oh, you probably pulled a bureau 10 times. You know, listen, keyboard warrior, you don't know anything about credit, and but it's embarrassing for me. Like, I'm in that business. Like, we should be educating consumers about it, and we don't all the time. Dealers don't. You know, you get a customer that says, "Don't pull my credit," you know, more than once. And I don't think some of the here. You know why? You know what? That's probably what I don't think that even all the dealers know that anymore. That the bureau
might not.
I don't think they do. Any installment loan inquiries within 30 days for the same installment item are judged as one inquiry.
Because honestly, I feel like if more dealers did know, that would save a lot of time and energy, because they could just say, no, here's the thing.
Yeah, give me the best
and
rate.
move
Send me
on.
to 10 people. I don't care.
Yeah.
I want you to save me money on my interest.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So, but anyway, but now to answer the first question, can they beat your lender's interest? 100%. Absolutely. I recommend all the time, go get a pre-approval from your credit union. If you don't belong to a credit union, join one. A lot of them will let you apply for an installment loan or a car immediately upon joining. If you don't want to do that for whatever reason, Cap One Auto Navigator, and get a pre-approval and stroll into the dealership like a boss.
Like a boss.
Like I can drive out in a car. So you're going to treat me right. You're going to find the car I love. You're going to give me a good price. Or I'm going to take my little piece of paper that says I can buy a car, and I'm going to go yonder. And so, yes, then what you do is you make them beat that rate 100%. Say, listen, I'm cool. I like the car. I like the price and everything. If you can beat my rate, I'll give you my financing. If you can't, I'm going to use this check or whatever it is. So, yeah, absolutely. They're going to try really hard, too, because what happens is if they get your financing, they have an opportunity to make back-end products, ancillary products that you may need, like gap insurance or warranty and stuff like that, or tire and wheel coverage or whatever. But they at least have an at-bat with you. You know what I'm saying? So they have a chance to get product and gross profit on that stuff. But if you have a Cap One pre-approval and a check already made out, they have a very limited chance to sell you anything. So, yeah, they're going to work hard to beat your rate 100%. Good question.
Awesome. Well, that's it. That's our questions for today.
Yeah. So, can we talk? Go ahead.
What would you like to talk about?
subscribers.
The subs.
I want to get back to this. The subscriber thing, I don't know why it's still so funny to me. And it hasn't left my head this whole episode, you guys. So if I answer questions wrong, it's because I'm in my head laughing that the word sub has a whole new meaning to me now with being on podcasts.
We have a whole cluster of them
subscribers and platforms and stuff like that. So
we have a whole cluster of them.
Of what?
Subs.
You do.
We do.
I know. Hold on. You're you're going to a whole different level.
Listen, we're co-hosting the podcast.
She's lying, Rob.
So they're ours.
Rob, I would never do that to you, Rob. I would never do that to you. Rob, the IT guy with the great mustache. Okay, so what else is going on in your world? Anything else we need to talk about? I'd love to talk about more car stuff, but those are some good questions.
We got to save it for next time. Yeah, we got to save some for next time. But I don't have anything else today. So except I want to thank Sky Blue Credit Repair one last time for sponsoring this episode. You guys are super supportive. We love working with you, and we look forward to working with you more in the future.
Yeah. So Goat Army, hashtag Goat Army. Eva's insisting that's our hashtag. I wanted a different one, but she's insisting that's it. Goat Army. Thank you for listening. We're gonna keep the content coming. And if you got questions, listen, DM, message, just whatever. If I can get to it, I will get to it. I'm sorry.
And if he doesn't, I do. So it's okay.
But I did want to apologize because there's a lot of unanswered stuff in there. And we're just getting a lot of stuff together, guys. So put up with us, put up with us and just be patient. We're doing our best.
Yes, yeah. We will get to everything in due time. But I don't know. I think that's it for this week, Sean.
All right, cool. If anybody's got any questions, and here also check out Eva on social. Check out me. When you go check us out on socials, guys, I know we're going to talk about this again. You're going to hear it at the end of the episode. Hit the like, hit the follow, hit the subscribe, but hit the like and the follow buttons. It supports us, it helps us, and it lets us know what our audience is so we can cater our content appropriately.
Exactly.
Gang, gang.
Gang, gang.
I'm Gucci.
Gucci, holla.
Holler. Hey, Goat Army, thank you so much for listening. We really, really appreciate all the support.
And we would like to thank our sponsor for this week's episode. Your support means a ton.
Now, you can find me across all social media at goatforreal216. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. For additional info, you can check out my bio page, www.goatforreal216.info. Now, when you go to those socials, please do me a quick favor. Make sure you hit the like, follow, and subscribe buttons.
And you can find me across all social media at Evolutionary Productions, including Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. For additional info, you can check out www.evolutionaryproductions.com or www.evabrettrager.com. And just like Sean P. said, please make sure to like, follow, and subscribe.
Yeah, leave us ratings, reviews on your preferred streaming platforms. And listen, guys, please be honest. Listen, this podcast is not going to be effective if we don't reach the right audience and you don't tell us what it is you want from our content. Be honest, please.
And subscribe there as well. Additionally, for exclusive content, be sure to join us on Patreon, which gives you access to our secret Discord.
We love secrets.
Yes, we do.
Holler.
Holla.
The Goat for Real 216 podcast is produced by Goat for Real 216 and Evolutionary Productions. Copyright 2023, all rights reserved. No part of this podcast can be reused or reproduced without written express consent from all parties. For information, please contact Evolutionary Productions directly at evolutionaryproductions@gmail.com. Holla!